Only you was there when I hear your name. Put a
What
smile
it
on
do?
my
Hey, how
face.
you doing?
It don't matter the time
I'm doing well.
or the
Just
How
over
are
here
you?
listening to you right now. You know, man, if we let this junk play.
No, what is that? I was sure like, is that my voice?
My song.
Oh, okay, okay. Cool.
Happy New Year's to you too, by the way.
Happy New Year's to you too. So what do I call you?
Big true,
What's your
big
huh?
true that, big true that. Truth. It don't matter. Big true
True.
that, the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Appreciate you coming through, though.
Absolutely.
All right, we gonna go on and start this. John. Like, yeah, welcome to the Late Bloomer Podcast. You fucked up with me smoking? How you feel about me smoking?
Oh no.
Yeah, welcome to the Late Bloomer Podcast. Oh,
Late bloomer.
yeah, late bloomers. What part of the city you from?
Honestly, I lived all over Memphis, but I guess I grew up the most in North Memphis, like New Chicago. Spent most of my time out there.
Oh, North Memphis, New Chicago. Make what they say on your hat. Make Africa great again. Okay then. Okay, that's what you pushing for. Make Africa great again.
Absolutely.
I respect it. I respect it. Let me know a little bit about your upbringing, if you don't mind. How was it coming up? You said North Memphis, New Chicago, New Chicago. What was it like coming up? First of all, around New Chicago, if you don't mind.
Um, yeah, so that was a time. But
You said
so my mom so that's my dad's hood. Like that's where his whole family is from. My mom is from Indianapolis. So she spoke, she still does. She kind of done got a little bit of Memphis accent now, but she spoke really proper. So of course, me being her child, I spoke really proper. She always made sure I looked nice and was put together. She made sure we didn't go without. So, with that being said, like growing up out there, it was interesting. It wasn't hard or nothing because we knew how to deal with stuff, but like folks used to try to pick on me because I was a cute little skinny girl with the cute clothes and talk proper, don't sound like everybody else.
yeah.
So I had a lot of people like try to test me and stuff growing up in that zone, but it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Junior.
I just want you to know too. You know, I be watching like one of the people that I watch, I kind of watch how he give people they acknowledgments, their accomplishments before they get on.
Mhm.
Before you came on, I had this shit in my head what I was gonna say, and I ain't say shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back, like for real. I'm gonna go back and make sure I put like a proper introduction on here though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, I had some shit lined up that I was gonna say, and I ain't say nothing. So
it's
I'm
all
still
good.
learning on the job, though. I'm still learning on the job, though.
That's the good thing about recording it and then putting it up because you can, edit
Yeah.
what you need out and put in what you need in. So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
What you think you learned coming up most about like no, what does Memphis culture mean to you? Let me ask you that.
Um, it has so many different parts to this answer for me. Man, Memphis culture is, I feel like it's the founding spirit of a lot of stuff, not just nationwide but worldwide. And like this a juicy question for me because I
You
I do a lot
embody
of research.
you embody it in a sense though. So go ahead.
Okay, okay, thank you. But I do a lot of research and try to figure out why things are the way they are in our city and things like that. And a lot of people don't know that this is a very sacred land that we are on in Memphis. They don't realize that um, culture, not just in America, but culture, period. A lot of culture started and originated here. There's an energy here from like the origin of earth and the land that folks don't realize is here. And that's a really big reason why Memphis is targeted in the ways that it's targeted for crime and violence or whatever it is. There's a it's like a
Say it.
I don't want to say curse. I don't want to say curse, but there is
That's what they
definitely,
saying. That's what they been giving us though. They saying we cursed. I
yeah,
feel you.
yeah. There's some type of overcast of energy that's trying to keep us bound and not reaching our true heights and levels of spirituality, of being, of man success. So the culture to me in Memphis is man, it is what it is. It's where everything started. And it's starting to get a lot more recognition for it, but it really hasn't even gone to where it's gonna go. Because if you know about Stacks
Mm.
and how great this city was, man, and how we are now, it's like it's so much more to unravel for Memphis, and I think it's very important for us to protect our culture in Memphis.
Facts. So, in saying that, how much does the culture of Memphis influence Lashante Pop? How much did it influence you coming up, and how much of it do you put out in your music?
Yeah, it's just in me. It's just a part of me. Everything about me is
Right.
it's just Memphis. It's just natural. And it's funny because Memphis is like a once it's hot, that's when everybody want to support it type of city.
Goddamn city, man. That's trouble. I hate it, man. God, ooh, they don't believe it to you until you pop. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah. So I just embodied Memphis. It's just naturally how it is, just because this is where I'm from. It's where I grew up, and I lived in every corner of Memphis, so I know all the different personalities, all the different influences, slang, all that.
So, how did you get over that knowing that Memphis is one of them cities that it's a catch-on city? They don't really fuck with you until you work fucking with in their eyes. They don't see the diamond in the
Right.
dirt. So, how did you? When did you get over this stage of not taking it personal? Because I used to take this shit personal. Like I ain't gonna lie, I used to take this shit personal. Like, damn, y'all see me every day, y'all can't fuck with me. But then y'all go be at these people shows and doing this and doing that. Like that shit used to have me feeling some type of way. Like for real, for real.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that I'm over it. I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
honest. I still feel like that. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean it don't hinder me or anything like that. It's just something that I can definitely observe and see that that's just what it is. So
Guess what I was thinking before I interviewed you? I was like, you know what? What if Memphis was like LA, Houston, those cities where they embrace their independent artists and they independent artists flourish in their city though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you don't
right,
think like it's good to move outside your region and stuff like that, but when your city embrace you, it's like it's a
right.
better feeling. And I was like, we'll never have that here, whereas
Yeah,
it seems that way. Why is it?
yeah.
You think, from your opinion?
It's like I said, you know, earlier. I feel like it's real deep. Like it is that deep. Like it is that deep. Like
I
when you
feel you.
learn
I
that
feel you. Okay.
uh Memphis was originally inhibited by black people living in many pyramids on the river. It's a long, long time ago, before it was colonized. When they showed up here, we were living in many pyramids along the Mississippi River, and we were flourishing, and they burned it down. So when people say the crab in a bucket mentality, they don't realize how far back that this goes from, because they stripped us of everything and make us fight over the crumbs. We don't realize that we being brainwashed and we still just following this same synergy that's just got us in a bind. And the quicker people realize it, I think it can change. But man, that's a long game process right there.
How do you balance motherhood and music and still trying to pursue your dream?
Yeah. Honestly, for the most part, it's super easy. Especially being in the space that I'm in now. Having a beautiful family, a peaceful family, it makes it easier. Um, Obviously, I got to make sure my baby is good when I have shows and things like that. But I have a village that supports me in my endeavors, so it enhances it for me. Like it inspires me. It creates a safe space for me. So it just naturally balances itself out.
So does is it just the motherhood, or is it family and all what inspires you and motivates you now?
Everything, all that for sure. Um, Obviously I have a 17-year-old, so I've been a mom for a long time. So it definitely always had inspired me, from my daughter being super young, because she was super supportive. Like she was my number one fan. She don't mess with me too much now because she can smell herself now. She's 17 and she driving and she got a job and she's gonna go to college. But it's definitely all that. It's all that what's going on in the world, even outside of my home, is is what inspires me.
Okay. So early on, coming up in Memphis, New Chicago, moving around, when would you say you first noticed that you wanted to perform, or kind of fell in love with music?
Yeah, so I vaguely remember my mama used to always tell me the story, but my mom was a performer. She danced and she sung too. She don't do it much anymore. I'm trying to get her back into it, but she used to. I used to
Going
sing with
to
her.
mother dollar stuff?
Absolutely. We used to ride around Memphis, and she was into real estate, and she would take me all over the city to the big houses, and we would go look in the houses and tour the houses and stuff like that. And we used to just sing together in the car, and that was when I was really young, like 4 or 5.
Real adolescent.
And then
Okay.
yep, then she put me on the cheerleading team. Actually, I forced myself on the cheerleading team
Okay.
because I was 4 years old, and my brother, he was playing football. And when the cheerleaders went out on halftime, my mama had made me my own cheer outfit, and I ran on the field to perform with these folks. I was 4 years old. My mama had already known, like,
Yeah.
that I was an entertainer because I used to sing with her and stuff in the car. But it was like that was a big experience because I still vaguely can remember like running out on the field like, nah, I'm finna go do it's my time. So man, since I was a toddler.
Yeah. All right. And saying that, since a toddler, when did you take no when did people start to take notice that you was actually talented? And when did you notice it yourself?
um So my mom was doing touring with a Nubian dance company, and I started touring with her around that same time.
Okay.
Um, and just being on stage and hearing the crowd's reaction let me know that I had something and that I needed to keep going. And then in elementary and like middle school, I started doing talent shows, and that was that. I started winning them, so it was like, okay, I really got something going on that I can really do this.
Got you. Uh, is it hard? Is it hard? I'm gonna see. Basically, let me ask you a question first. And is I don't mean that bad, but how serious do you take your craft? Because I'm going somewhere with this. Like, how serious do you take
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Um, I guess I can say very, very serious. I don't know. I wouldn't use the word serious. It's just who I am. Like it's nobody else who I would be. So it really don't matter what come out of it because this is just who I am, period. And I'm gonna do it to the best ability that I can. And I'm always gonna strive for growth and becoming my best self. And that's just something that's within me that I want to do for me and for the Most High, because it's just who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just what I do. I mean, I can't do nothing. I can't do other stuff,
Right.
but this
It's
was
what
like
fulfills you.
exactly,
I got it.
exactly.
So it's safe to say your mom was probably like your first um made you want to do it. That was like your
Yep,
first, I want to say, influence. Basically. That was your first influence.
yep, yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And after that, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure you done heard this before, but I get like I get a little CC vibe with you. I get a little Sierra vibe with you.
Yeah,
Maybe like you used to listen to Sierra. Like people used to love Sierra coming up. Like I'm from that era where
yeah,
I grew
yeah,
up like a Sierra too though. So in saying that, and Michael Jackson, I see the Michael Jackson, everybody a fan of Mike. But when did you decide, like me going back through your music and just looking at um like you have the sex appeal, but you also you rely on your talent. It's not all about the sex appeal. So
right.
when did you wanted to, how did you become that artist, or what made you go that direction instead of just being, you know, more so what they doing?
Oh, well, that's all about how you was raised, man. I can't even start. Like, my mom's always classy. The women in my life was classy. So it's just how it is. I mean, of course, sometimes you want to take it there and just show that you could do that sometimes, but that's definitely not my focus. I was inspired by, 90s and 2000s artists. My number one inspiration was Aaliyah. That's why a lot of people say they see Sierra, because Aaliyah inspired Sierra.
I
Um,
think it's the dancing too, though. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
dancing and singing. It ain't
yeah.
too many people that's performers or artists like that no more.
Right,
It's either you do one or the other. So when you
right,
do
right.
both of them, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Absolutely. But yeah, Aaliyah and Michael Jackson, they inspired so many people, and like you said, they definitely had a big impact on Sierra. So I do get that a whole lot. Um, but coming up watching them and like Missy, who was very different, and 702, and I was a big Lauryn Hill fan, a big Lil Kim fan. I also was into the pop
Wait
world,
a
Britney
minute.
Spears, huh?
Lauren Hill. Look him. Damn.
Nah, for real. Like Erica Badu, Jill Scott came up under Neo Soul. Man, shit, Genuine, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Pink. Like I had a real versatile background in the type of music that I listened to. I even listened to like punk rock and metal, Avril Lavigne, and all that shit growing up. So it wasn't ever about selling my body. It wasn't ever about that. It
It's
was
about the
about
art, the talent,
exactly.
the creativity part. I like that. I respect that. What was it
Yeah.
about Aaliyah for you then? Let me ask you that. What was it about Aaliyah that made her, you know what I'm saying, that one for you coming up?
Yeah, I mean
I
that
cried when Aaliyah
like
died too. I'm gonna say that. I cried when Aaliyah died.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I still might shed a tear like I probably did like a couple days ago. But like just how cool and sensual she was, that she didn't have to uh do a whole lot of extra. Now I'm a little more extra than Aaliyah, but I loved how cool and sensual she was, and how um she didn't have to say a lot. It was just a cool vibe with her, and she really inspired me by her creativity and just being real smooth and nonchalant.
Got you. What is it? What does it take to be a performer? Like, what did it take you to get to this point where you at?
um
How much?
Being brave.
Actually, I'm sorry. I mean to say, like, how much
Yeah,
work did you put into it? Basically,
yeah, yeah. um Man, you got to trust yourself and be brave, man. I started really getting serious with the music um in high school, and you just got to put yourself out there. You can't be afraid to talk to people. it's a lot of stuff that I might have missed because I couldn't speak for myself.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't speaking up for myself and saying, "Hey, I'm this person. I do this. Like, what? However you can help me, I'm willing to shadow you. Anything." So I think it just takes a whole lot of dedication, man, and developing your craft. The opportunity's gonna come to you when you focus on developing the talent. So instead of chasing opportunity, I focused on crafting my talent and making sure that I was being creative and being my own self, like, and celebrating my own individuality. So that's how I really got to this point and just, hustling.
How many opportunities would you say probably get passed up on because you set those boundaries?
Oh man. Look, I'm just gonna give you a specific story
Yes,
that
sir.
happened a few years ago, man. I had so and I don't mean the name drop, but I don't give a damn. Like I had Coach K hitting me up trying to get me to go to New York and meet with Capitol Records, right? So
Right.
when I was a teenager, I was going back and forth to LA. My mom and dad were paying for all these conventions I was going to perform and audition and stuff like that. And I used to always go and stand in front of Capitol Records and just wish to God, like, God, one day, can you just please let me to the top floor so I can get a record deal, right? And fast forward, that's when I was a teenager. So
Okay.
fast forward, and a few years ago, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, Capitol Records called me because of me being in contact with Coach K, and he like, man, you ready? You ready? Let's do this. And he was very positive, like he had very good energy. I can't lie. But when Capitol Records called me, and it was a YT man on the phone talking to me, just kind of, trying to pick my brain. And I'm experienced in the industry. I had a deal before when they called me. So it wasn't like I wasn't like Capitol Records. I wasn't like that. And literally, dude, like during the conversation we talking and stuff, and he was like, oh, you don't sound too excited. You don't sound excited enough. And he hung up on me.
Yeah.
So real talk. So a few months later, the City Girls came out
Okay.
under this same label, right? So
Mhm.
it had me thinking, like, did they think that I was gonna be like that? Like, the fact that they wanted that type of reaction let me know that they wanted to be able to take advantage of me, and
Mhm.
that I would probably be willing to do, you know, whatever for an opportunity. And that's not the energy that I wasn't negative or nothing. I was excited to be on the phone, but I wasn't like falling and screaming, rolling on the floor. And that's what they wanted me to do, and I ain't do that. And he hung up on me. So when I saw them come out, I was like, man. And then just seeing the other artists that they have on their label. Granted, I love all that shit. It's not me,
Mhm.
but just seeing all that is just like they thought I was somebody else. They thought I was gonna do something else, and it wasn't like that. And they was like, nah, we good. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of instances where people, um, see my record and see the things that I show, and also see the things that I talk about. And they're like, man, we ain't fucking with that. We gotta keep her right here. We need her to be right here. She can't be doing all that. Or, so I already know that it's a real political game in the music industry. So I'm sure
Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
it ain't nothing I'm missing.
Right. Is it more political with would you say the artists, the management, the labels, or like just all in general? Like just
Um,
you think other artists may be scared to do shit with you as well? Or not scared or just I don't know. What do you call it? Threatened?
I mean, honestly, my little Yorkie. Honestly, I've had those thoughts before. Queen, I'd have had them thoughts before. Like it might have been artists that was like, man, I feel like the politics is more so behind the scenes of who owns the labels versus who's in there doing what they getting paid to do. Which I'm sure it's a lot of stuff going on in that realm too. But the politics I'm really talking about is the people who control what's put out and control the narrative. Definitely, I think it's more so back there than on the forefront because everybody else just doing what they told and what they paid to do.
Was it ever a moment that had you feeling like you was at your lowest and just wanted to give up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been plenty of those. It's been plenty of those. You just gotta keep going.
Just for the this for like the viewers. What would be like
Yeah.
some of the reasons though? Like just from an independent standpoint, like what would make a person want to fall back?
Right, right. Being an artist is expensive. So you gotta account for all the stuff you gotta pay for, all the hats you gotta wear being an artist. You gotta be a manager, you gotta be a booking agent, you gotta be creative director, you gotta be a choreographer, you gotta be a graphic designer, website design, all these different things that you have to do. It becomes
No.
it's like a burden. Yeah, it's a burden versus being creative. So that's definitely one of the things that can make me feel super overwhelmed. Hey baby. And shoot, not having the support from your city, especially when you've been doing what you're doing for a long time and you know folks have seen you and it's like, okay, where is the connection not happening? But like when I look at my numbers and where people support me from, and I see I got people across the waters support me and running my music, it's like, okay, that's a reason for me to keep going. Memphis not my target city. I've been shown that. Like I've been shown that since I
We
was a
have to
kid.
accept that shit though. You feel we be having to
Yep.
accept that. It be right there in
Yep.
our face. And it's like once we realize that this shit bigger than Memphis, as much as we
Absolutely.
want the city to fuck with us, sometimes it be best to
Yep.
work our way around and us knowing this a catch on city like it is. They'll
Yep.
catch on, but then me being the type of person I am, I won't fuck with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to fuck with nobody who just didn't really
Right.
believe in this
Right.
shit, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what the
Yep.
city taught me too. Now
Yep.
can't be no
Yep.
punk ass person. So hell no.
Well, exactly.
Hell
Exactly.
nah. So
Yeah.
damn. And saying that, what's some of those other cities where you would say give you a good reception at though, with outside of Memphis?
Man, LA, New York, it's a few cities in Europe. I don't know off the top of my head, but these like cities I hadn't even heard of. I'm like, dang, I got a lot of support in China and the like the EDM and the pop, like those cultures embrace me definitely.
Gotcha.
Um, so even though I do all different styles, that's definitely where I get a whole lot of support in that culture, that club vibes with the EDM.
Mm, got you. So what is it about Memphis Jookie that just how did you get connected and get brought up into the atmosphere of Memphis Jookie? Bucking.
Yeah. So I mean it was just all around me. It was all around me. We used to go to Crystal Palace
Nah, but you
and
hard
take our
though. It ain't you hard though. You know what you're doing. So
fashion.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's been around me since I remember. Like being small as hell at the Crystal Palace, taking the skates off, and gangster walking with the gangster walkers around the circle around the skating rink at Crystal Palace. And I used to always go to Skateland, Raleigh Skateland. They was always doing it there. And what really got me into it was my brother, Dimitri, RIP. My brother Meech, he used to shop. That's how I know your guy. It's
Shout him
from my
out,
brother.
shout him out.
But yeah, my older brother Michi, man, yeah, shout out to Chief though. Shout out to Chief. But
Yeah.
my Tremaine, yeah,
Yeah.
man. I've known him since I was a kid. But my older brother, he had a juking battle with this dude right outside our apartment. You know how you can go up the stairs and it's two doors and it's like a little concrete slab up there. It was a little ass space that these folks was chopping in. I'm talking about I had to be in maybe third or fourth grade. And I witnessed that, and I was just like, "Man, that's cool as hell." And I'm just asking my brother, like, "Can you teach me this?" My brother, like, "Nah, females don't do that.
Yeah.
Females don't do that. You gonna look retarded trying to do that." Oh, excuse me, I don't need to say that word.
Yeah.
That they can get me blacklisted.
Yeah.
But you gonna look crazy trying to chop, man. Juking ain't for girl, man. Juking ain't. And I took that to heart. Like when he told me that, I took that to heart. And I didn't do it for a while, but then I was on the dance team when I was in middle school, and it was